It broke my main artery. I was bleeding to death while alone in a flipped dune buggy. I can't feel my fingers. They're not moving really that much. So I unbuckle myself. I because I know that if I pass out right now or if I don't get out and go find help, I will die.
Knock him out the box, Rick. Knock him out, Rick. Knock him out the box. Allen motherfucking Mirnyy.
Yep.
Maybe that's the way we start this fucking podcast.
Yeah.
You are kind of a badass, even though you're kind of a quiet badass right now, a little bit. Like you haven't really found your voice, but you're young, you're 19.
Yeah.
I met you at the Woodland Hills indoor soccer facility that Tanya, my wife, and I,
Yeah.
my life and business partner, co owned at the time for a glorious year and a half. And you were one of the coaches we hired. I remember I met you, and it was shortly after you had had your accident.
Yeah.
That's
It
the
was
point.
shortly since I came back from the hospital.
Got it.
I still had my cast. I remember. I
Yes.
think I had wrapping and stuff because I was still healing
Right.
from all the surgeries
All the
and stuff.
surgeries.
Yeah.
So I want to get into all of that and how you got here. But I got to say that what struck me and I think why you're sitting here most important or most of anything else, right, is how positive you were at the time. Your mindset, your outlook on life, the outlook on your future as a young, good looking man, having now, lost his arm essentially the way typical people would say they have an arm or not.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere from an accident. And to see how did you recover so quickly from the psychology of that, man? Like, for me, that's inspirational because life is always throwing shit that you don't want to happen because it's not up to you.
Yeah.
It's a game, man. Like, you can't get mad at it. But how you play that shit is everything. How you see it, how the story you tell yourself, oh, poor me. What am I going to do now? What did I do to deserve this? I had my first son, my
Yeah.
oldest, has Down syndrome. I did ask myself that for the first month because I couldn't get over it that quick, right? Like, so I want to hear your story. I want to hear like about that and how you handled it, how you got over it. I think that's the most helpful thing, but I want to know the context of the story too and who you are. Let me ask you first 5 quick questions that I'm just trying out for the first time.
Okay.
Right? So this is just quick fire. Maybe it's a reel, maybe it's a 30-second reel. So we got to get it under 30 seconds. Let's try it.
let's
All right.
go.
Then we're going to get into the actual interview. Set, go. What kind of a Smurf are you?
I'm not quite sure about that. Let's
Okay.
skip.
Next question. Your favorite place outside of home?
The beach.
Your favorite movie?
I would say how's it called? Fast and Furious. The series.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Scale of 1 to 10.
7.
Nice. 29.19 seconds, baby. That could be a reel right there.
Yeah.
That would be, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe with some music, some dramatic music, like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe it's just a good, because I think I missed a question though, but I don't want to like go back. So what did I miss?
You asked me what type of Smurf.
Type of Smurf?
Um.
Oh, I know what I forgot to ask. So let's ask it separate. Your most influential person in your life?
Can I say 2?
Sure.
So
it's a conversation starter.
Outside of my parents, or like someone someone famous, or
okay, I'll tell you. Originally, I had 2 questions. One was who is the most influential person you know, and who is the most influential person you don't know. That could be a celebrity, an athlete, somebody you saw on the street.
Okay, so people the most influential that I know, I would have to say probably my mom. She influenced me to doing dancing, which I still am doing since I was 5 years old. I've been dancing.
Okay.
Before that, I've done other sports like I've done some soccer when I was like 5. Um, I did taekwondo. I got up to second degree black belt, and she always helped me with everything, taking me to places. I'd be in a back seat doing my homework on my way from home to taekwondo. Then I would change clothes in the car to go to dance. So my life was pretty like up paced and stuff like that.
Right. So she
So
taught you work ethic.
yeah. So at first she put me into dance because I had a lot of energy. And when she was like, "Okay, let's now find you something else to do." I just said, "No. I love this. I'm going to stay doing this." Because I love dancing, the attention on me, the etiquette of learning the
Yeah.
different dances,
Okay.
also the different ways of communicating to your partner
Interesting.
through connection of the hands.
Right.
Because usually during dancing, everything's so fast during the choreography, you don't have time to like tell your partner, "Oh, there's someone behind you." Uh, you have to literally change them change their direction with your body without telling them,
Right. You're communicating.
communicating psychopathically,
Right.
basically,
Through touch,
and
through
through
rhythm, through knowing
rhythm,
each other,
knowing
trusting each other.
facial expressions sometimes also helps.
Right. With a partner that knows you, you're like,
Yeah,
and they know you're about to grab them or pull them because you need to correct course or something.
yeah, and then
Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
Well, you can continue what you were saying, but I just don't want to forget. I just want to ask you at some point why you didn't say you're a Dance Smurf, but we can get into that separately. Go ahead and say what you were going to say.
So and people who I don't know who I feel is really inspirational is one. He's a very famous YouTuber, Roman Atwood. He's really positive and stuff. Did always positive vlogs and stuff like that. That's also kind of what helped me through my accident, but we can get
Yeah.
more to that
Okay.
later.
All right.
And also Logic, the rapper Logic, he also helped me a lot through my hard times.
Interesting.
That's also why I have his memo tattooed on me: peace, love, and positivity.
Nice. So how did he help you?
So when I was in the hospital, so this accident happened very fast. I was just driving on the dune buggy, and so we were in two different dune buggies. I was alone in mine, and I had my friend and an adult who was with us there in a different one. So he was basically going in front, and he would tell me to stay back so that the dies down because we were in Arizona.
So why did you guys go dune bugging? Is there an
So
occasion? Or?
it was summer. We wanted to go to the river that separates California and Arizona. I forgot how the river
Colorado.
Colorado River. Yeah, we were there for 3 days, 2 nights, just like as a summer little get together, little kickback. We jet skied. Everything was fine. I think it was a second or third day the accident happened. Um, so I was driving in a dune buggy. They told me to wait so dust died down, and I went. This was already our second go because we stopped in the middle and we started going back towards the road. And in the middle there was a little split in the road. You can go one trail or you could go another. And I had to go fast because I was going like 20, 30 miles an hour in the dune buggy. So I took the wrong path basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a big dip, but it was like part of the course. But something that wasn't part of the course was a big hole in the ground. So my front right tire got into that hole, which shot the razor to the right, and the razor got propped up on one hill and another, so it flipped. And like as a fall instinct, it was really quick. I stuck out my arm, and both bones were dislocated. One was broken completely. It broke my main artery. I was bleeding to death while alone in a flipped dune buggy. I had to unstrap myself and go find help. I was holding my arm, it was bleeding out. I was just running, trying to find help.
So wait, you got out?
I got out of the dune buggy with one hand.
So you put your hands up as like a fall, like out kind of as you
No.
were
So
flipping?
since I was falling towards my side of the door
Yeah.
and there's no window, so I stuck out my arm, and as because of the weight and the pressure.
Right. Because it's pulling you that way
Yeah.
also. Their seatbelt's not necessarily keeping you all the way
No,
in.
the seatbelt was keeping me in. It's just my fall instinct when I fall. Like I've fell so many times during my I've skateboarded and stuff like that. I always stick out my arm. That's my first like fall instinct, so that I don't hit my face or anything. And right there, that was another part of it. Even though I should have just kept my hands inside and none of that would have happened.
Right.
But basically, I was
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's what you could have done, but
yeah,
you did the best you could,
yeah,
man. Maybe someone else will hear this and go, "Shit, if I ever flip, like keep your fucking hands on the steering wheel.
yeah,
Just hold
because
on to the steering wheel, basically."
yeah, because
Okay,
you're in a metal box.
right.
It's not
But your instincts, man. I mean,
you're
that would
in
probably
yeah,
happen to me. I mean, all of a sudden you flip over, natural instinct, roll your shoulder, right? Even if you're rolling your shoulder, you got your arm up.
yeah.
Okay, so then so what
So
happens? It flips, and then how do
so
you know to get out?
it flips on one side. I'm basically sideways. I unbuckle myself and I grab, since there's
Do
no
you know at this
winch.
point your arm is
I see it. It's
messed up?
bleeding. It's messed up. Uh, I can't feel my fingers. They're not moving really that much. So I unbuckle myself. Because I know that if I pass out right now or if I don't get out and go find help, I will die. So I pulled myself out and I started going towards the way that the other dune buggy went. And because I wasn't coming for a while, he knows how long it takes
Yeah.
to get from one spot to another. So because he saw I wasn't coming for a while, they came back and they saw me walking towards them, me
Jesus
bleeding,
Christ.
holding my arm. They got out.
So who's this coming your way? This who?
My friend
Yeah.
and the adult that was there.
Okay.
The adult that came with us.
Is it a parent?
It was my other friends, because we had three people: me, my friend Joe, and also my other friend Shane.
Okay. And
So
you're how old at this point?
I'm 16.
16. Wow. You're my second son's age, man. You're Cody's age, man. This could have happened to Cody.
Yeah, I was
Just
16.
saying, man. I mean,
It-
and like what you must have been feeling at that moment. Like,
I thought
I could die right now.
I
This
thought-
could be it.
yeah,
You knew this could be it.
and I didn't want to go away like that, especially like knowing how hard stuff is going on in my family. Like my grandma, she had cancer. Um,
So did you
Bef-
think about these things as this was happening?
I was thinking about my family. Yeah, I was thinking about my
Like
career,
split second,
my
or
career as a dancer. When I was like going, I said I have to keep myself up. So they come see me. He puts on a tourniquet with his shirt so that the blood stops bleeding a little bit. And I'm in the middle of the desert. So we have to call help. We call the ambulance. They come, but they can't come out to where I am.
right?
But in the same moment, there was a
How does he do the tourniquet?
so he just takes off his shirt
Yeah,
and wraps it around and ties it.
right.
Ties it hard
And
up.
he knows to do that. How does he know to do that?
Maybe because instinct, and also he does a lot of action sports. Not my friend, but the adult,
Right.
which was my friend's dad's friend.
Got it.
They're not really friends anymore,
Got it.
but
Okay. Yeah.
that's whatever. But basically, he does that, call help. At the same time that they're calling help, a truck is passing by, which was a ranger. and since the ambulances can't come out to us, I had to get put in the back of the bed of the truck with my friend Joe holding me so that I don't like fly around in the bed of the truck. And they go take me to the ambulances.
How was that ride?
I don't know why, but I was kind of like I was fine with it. I was still scared, shitless, that's for sure. But Joe, he was really like helping me kind of calm down and stuff. Everything will be okay, stuff like that. I don't know how he wasn't really scared. Probably inside he was, but he knew that he has to keep me calm so that and also keep me awake so that I don't pass out because if I pass out, I could just not wake up. So we're going to the
Did you think it was
ambulances.
gonna be okay at that point?
Um, I still was really scared. I was scared about my future. I was scared about what's gonna happen, like with my dance career, because at this point I've been dancing since I was 5 or 6 professionally, and I'm 16.
Right.
So all of this just stopped quick because I was still dancing at the time.
Well, the fact that that crossed your mind is something we should come back to because that sounds like a big sign for you.
Yeah.
You know,
So go to the ambulance. They take me to one hospital. They do some scans, see they can't do much. So they had to airlift me up from one hospital to UMC hospital in Las Vegas. Airlifted me up there and I go straight into surgery. It was really bad. I had to have 16 surgeries. I had 16 or 17 surgeries there. Um to try to just save my arm because a lot of the sand got in and infected a lot of the muscle. That's why I lost like 75% of my muscles, in my arm. They had to transplant a muscle from my back into my bicep. So I have a muscle from my back in my bicep. So I was there for 2 months, 52 days, and 16 surgeries. To this day, I have 19 because of like trying to get more movement back, just cosmetic type surgeries to make me be able to move my fingers more.
how many total surgeries?
19.
19.
Yeah.
So are you done with that? Or you
No, we're waiting on this on a big surgery where they might take a muscle from my leg and put it in my forearm so I have more mobility with my
right?
fingers since I do have a lot of lost muscles in my forearm.
Yeah. So how was that experience, man? Like, just what were the highlights of that experience? I'm just because not everyone's gonna go through what you went through. That's
So
why I like to know where
the
your head was at. Like were you conscious when you were being airlifted? Like,
when I
what are
was
some of the highlights of like this whole experience for you?
when I was airlifted, I was conscious. I saw everything. I was looking outside, not focusing on my
So you were
arm.
hanging underneath the helicopter,
No, no, no,
or
no.
how were
No,
you?
I
Or they
was
put
they
you
were
in?
they put me
I
inside
was
of
like
the
thinking
helicopter.
that's
No,
a different airlift. I'm like,
yeah, it's
for a second there, I'm like, oh, that's when they like save somebody from like the woods and they have to
yeah.
airlift.
But
So
what they
this is
did,
like inside the a
the
helicopter.
helicopter, I'm hooked up to an IV. I'm getting at this point I don't feel any pain because they gave me a lot of like pain drugs
Yeah.
and stuff. So
So are you feeling the painkillers at this point or not really? Like,
yeah,
are you still like fully conscious at this point?
I'm fully conscious, but I don't feel any pain.
Yeah.
So I'm looking outside, seeing the empty space in Nevada. You know how empty it is out there, and they bring me to UMC hospital, and I go straight to surgery. Now, during those 2 months, it was probably the hardest time of my life.
Two
My
months in the hospital.
Yeah,
Damn.
2 months in the same PICU, pediatric ICU, and
Wait, where is this in Nevada?
yeah,
So you stayed out there for 2
for
months,
2 months.
and you're
My dad was there with me all 2 months, every single day. My grandpa, my mom, she had to come she came sometimes because she had to be here with my baby sister. She was, I think, 2 or 3 at the time. So during those 2 months, I kind of went through some depression. I thought of killing myself. I'm like, what is the point of living now? My arm is gonna be messed up for the rest of my life. I might not even have an arm.
At this point, you didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah,
Did you
and
know you were okay, but that your arm's just
I
not gonna be
knew
okay?
I knew I was okay, but I also knew that I could possibly lose my arm. And what's the point of like living with one arm? But then listening to Logic and his music, and also watching Roman Atwood and how positive he is, it really changed my perspective of life. And it really gave me it told me I have a second chance of making my life greater and better.
What was the biggest mindset turning point for you, if you can remember, that made you go, okay, this is how I'm gonna look at this now? And what was it?
I think when um so I had this my best friend from elementary school. She was my girlfriend, but we broke up, and she called me when I was in the hospital, which really kind of like opened my eyes up that people actually do care about me. And other I knew that people cared about me, but like I was like wondering how will my friends also react to this type of situation that I'm going through. Even though I my mindset should be like I don't care what other people think, but sometimes I have that like a small urge of like kind of knowing what they think, but still not giving a fuck about it.
I would love to just talk about that for a second, but first to say that of course you care about what people think, and if you're trying to get to a point where you don't care what people think, you got an impossible journey ahead of you.
Yeah.
Instead, embrace that you care. It's just you don't have to act on it. You can discern, okay, I care what they think, but unfortunately, I don't agree with their idea of what my lifestyle should be or how I should act. So I will respectfully ignore that advice or not let it affect that I'm going to post about this or talk about this or do my thing.
Yeah.
So it's more about dealing with it versus not wanting. Of course, like we're tribal creatures. We want our people to like us or somebody to like us. We don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
So it's just about trusting that it's okay to be you.
Trust your own
And
instinct.
yeah, and then the people that really fit you will be with you over time.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity to almost like those kind of times in your life are opportunities to see who really fits with you and who doesn't.
Yeah.
For me, it was my divorce. I was the bad guy, and I got to see who's my real family and friends. It was painful, but so valuable. I have so much more better utilized time now because fewer people, and I can put my attention on fewer people that actually we help each other versus hurting each other.
Yeah. I totally agree with you on that. You need to really like know your friends to see who is worth keeping in your life and who you need to kind of push away.
Right. And sometimes people go through their whole life never discovering that shit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a painful but beautiful process. So like what happened with you? How did that go for you? How did
Uh
people react? Like
so
what was your
when I came back
So
from
what was the best advice or what was the best like
there
turning point
there
mindset
wasn't
wise?
really any advice. It just showed me that people are actually caring about me
Right.
during this time.
So
And it's
finding the people that cared about you truly through the storm. When the storm hit, you're like, oh, people aren't really wanting to be
Don't
inside this fucking vulnerable, fucked up situation,
and people don't want me as go yet.
and they don't want to maybe be in the depression, right? It's a storm for you, right? So then you
Yeah.
get to know who's really in it for the long haul, that gets from you something so deep that they want to invest in you during this difficult time.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, go in. So this, you said there was one friend that kind of was coming through for you.
Well, there were multiple.
Yeah,
It just like I didn't really I felt a difference because I liked this girl at the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
And I liked my I also loved my friends too.
yeah.
It's just like I know my friends, they always say that stuff. They always say that stuff.
Like what?
Like, "Oh yeah, you're my bro. I love you."
Right,
Stuff like that. I know that, but now I have a better perspective of it,
right,
and that's when I also got that bigger perspective of that girl who called me.
right.
We had like probably a 1 or 2 hour conversation, like on the phone,
Yeah.
on FaceTime, and
What was it
it
about?
just different things, just like regular conversations, not
So just her giving you
a,
the time of day and
yeah,
investing just a conversation in you
yeah,
is all you needed.
investing the time to talk to me, which I never felt that way because I haven't had a girlfriend before and stuff like that. And we only started dating like maybe, I don't know, couple months after. That didn't really
Da
turn
Maiska. Yeah,
that didn't really turn out
he's gonna
good.
join me co-host, but go ahead.
Well, we ended it on good terms,
Yeah,
but then she started doing messed up shit,
gotcha,
like posting guy photos, sending it to me,
gotcha. But
and
at the time, I guess the takeaway for me is you just needed somebody to invest a conversation in you, man. And I feel like that's such a like important concept, because we don't need a lot. We just want to know like we matter, we're
yeah.
worth it. It's not that we want to have to rely on other people to give us that, but it's a fact. And so give it to people whenever you can, man. Like your kids, let your kids know you want them. Like I already told my wife, like if he comes out here, he can sit with me. If he gets bored, he'll go back in, because he needs to know that, like I want to invest my time in him. I don't want him to feel like I don't have time for him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
I wanted to add
Yeah.
some stuff
Yeah. Tell me.
towards my story
Yeah.
in the hospital. So
Please.
after like my whole it was at the beginning of the time that I was in the 2 months in the hospital where I was depressed and stuff and thought of killing myself. And then that changed my listening logic, and um watching Roman Atwood really changed me. And I could feel my parents' energy, and I can feel like they're scared, they're worried about me. It's common sense. They're my parents. They're scared for my life. So I would always try to calm them down, like tell them, "Oh, everything's gonna be okay." That's when I really started like being even more positive than I was before, and really trying to like open people's mind up to being positive and thinking in a different way, that from anything negative there's a positive you can make it. Like I loved playing video games, and I thought, oh, how am I going to play video games? So I found out a way. I found a 12 button mouse, Razer mouse, and I use that for playing games. I have all my keybinds on there, and I use that for moving around, jumping, switching weapons, or switching characters. It all depends on what game I'm playing. I always take my time out of my day. There's a new game I'm trying to play. Take my time out of the day, figure out which buttons will be comfortable for me for what things I want to have set, and I would learn that game like that. So I would just like take anything negative and figure out how make it into a positive and just like do what I love. I had to stop dance for a while because of my arm. And I got back into dancing my favorite ballroom dancing. At high school, um after my accident, I had to skip a whole year of dance. My last year of in 12th grade, I got back into it first try. I just hip hop. I loved it, and I kept with it. I loved the team. I loved the atmosphere and everyone just hyping each other up, getting ready for that basketball game show or a football game halftime show. It would be such an adrenaline rush, and I would love that. That's exactly why I kept dancing, and that's exactly why I want to teach dancing as like another side hustle. But it's not really a hustle. It's just my favorite. It's just a thing I love to do, and I want people to get that experience. And if they don't like it, they can always switch their paths. But there are those people who love it and want to keep going.
Do you
And
know exactly what you wanna teach and how?
ballroom dancing, because I've done it since I was 5.
To who? Like, to how old?
Kids,
How old?
um, well, I started when I was 5, but like 6 up, 6 ages 6 and up, those are really easy. But it involves them and it gets them ready to know if they really want to continue that in the future.
So, yeah, I'm interested in what you're excited about, not when you started. Meaning, if you wanna figure out what you wanna do, it's what excites you. It's as simple as that, and by the
Dan-
way,
Dancing excites
no, but
me.
I'm saying the age group is
Oh,
when you decide on who you wanna teach, don't you should think what you actually want. I know that's a little bit
I
odd.
wanna I wanna
Most people
teach.
say, "You should do this."
I think what excites me if the kid wants to do this professionally, go to
Okay,
competitions,
alright.
mentor them through the competitions,
The
and
mindset game too, because you bring
yeah,
that to the table.
helping the mindset through them
Bro, you
because
automatically remind everybody every day. Like, if you were to work with a dancer every day, you remind them because it's visual. The arm does serve as a reminder to somebody to go, "You know what? Don't fucking complain." Right? Like, overcome whatever it is that
yeah,
today you're battling with, and the
and move
competition, the
on.
nerves, whatever. You can bring that to that dancer. So you want to do professional level, or at least a kid that is thinking about a professional level.
That
It's not a three.
mostly,
What about 3 or 4 year
that
olds that want to
mostly,
try
but
out?
I'm also totally okay with teaching
Got
anyone
it.
and everyone. It just what brings me more happiness is seeing them happy winning that competition and seeing that they succeeded because of their mindset, their dedication to dancing, because it reminds me of me when I was little and how happy I would be when I would win that first place, be on podium, get that trophy, get that gold medal. It would remind me of what I used to do. And also I just want to bring the happiness to anyone. I know that dancing makes people happy
Right.
and stuff like that. That's why I want to do it as teaching also,
Right.
not also keeping um my own skills in me.
Right.
I want to give that to someone and have them experience the same stuff I was being taught
Right.
when I was dancing more professionally. Right
Right.
now, I got back into it. I'm not quite doing competitions yet. Still looking for a dance partner, and that's kind of hard during this pandemic, but also it's easier for guys because there are a lot more girls in the dancing industry than guys, so girls have the tougher luck finding a guy to dance with
Right.
in ballroom.
Right.
So that's I just want to get back into it because I missed it. I've done it, and even after my accident and I was in school, I would be doing hip hop. I just love dancing in general.
Well, I think look, you from like a commercial standpoint and you like making it into a career, there is absolutely no good reason you can't do that. It's
Yeah,
just if you decide you don't believe in it and you don't want to pursue it, then it's going to die out. But competitions, why not?
yeah,
You should dance as long as you can competitively and then use that experience to teach other people. So that's going to be valuable to you, no matter how high of a level you get to.
yeah,
And your, disability is does create a really good story.
yeah.
So it, as far as like starting a school down the road, if you're also good at your craft, which I'm sure you are, right?
Yeah,
Then I think it just tells a better story, a more interesting story, a more inspirational story. So I think you should absolutely pursue it.
yeah.
I feel like the next time someone asks you, you should say you're a dancer smurf.
I was
Like, why
gonna,
don't you say that? I'm
I was,
curious.
because I was still like, the reason I didn't say I'm a dancer Smurf, I love dancing, but I also love doing a bunch of other things. I'm really like, here and there. Like I love to do a lot of stuff. So
Tell me about
I
the
thought
number 2 and 3 things.
so like videography. I did it when I had a YouTube channel.
Okay.
I did some vlogs.
All right.
I posted videos of me playing games. I
Okay.
live stream right now playing games, trying to get people like a happier, more enjoyable life. I try like tell them about my story sometimes and bring some positive energy to them, and like just show them that anything is possible. Like even showing that I'm playing with one hand, that's really inspirational to people to see that, oh, he's playing with one hand and he's doing this good. That means I can do that good,
Right.
and also do anything that I put my mindset to.
Dude,
That
this universe operates in such an interesting mathematical way. It's like for every negative there's a positive, for every pro there's a con.
yeah,
And so it's really all about choosing to focus on the pros, right? And turning, if the more negative something is, like I said before, the more there is to learn or find from that negative. So you use it as even more inspiration.
yeah.
It's not that you wouldn't be inspirational, but had you not had the accident, you wouldn't have as much ammunition for this inspiration you can inflict upon the world, this positivity,
I
because it forced you to
completely
go
agree with
through
you.
that and question yourself and get to the fucking real, the
Yeah,
truth. What's real? What's important to you? Not these friends that say, "Hey, bro, love you." That's just words,
yeah.
and that's fine,
But if
you
the
know.
words come out with actions,
Right?
that is
Of
the real
course.
person to
Yes.
stick with through life. That's why Vlad, remember Vlad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he's the real one.
I love Vlad.
I
Yeah.
love him too. I
I
know.
love everybody though. I'll say that I like Vlad. That's different. I don't like everyone. I love everyone. Think about that. No,
That's
I'm just saying because I don't want to just limit my feelings for Vlad to love
yeah,
because I have love for even people that have wronged me that maybe aren't even in my life. I still love them. I'd help them if they came to me asking for water or advice because their life is in shambles. I still love them. I may not like them. I may not want to hang out with them. I actually like and love Vlad. Vlad is cool.
yeah. That's
We'll
why.
have to have Vlad on here with you, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was actually thinking. I was talking to Josh a little bit about this. I thought of actually starting a podcast of myself
Absolutely.
and having different people that I come across in life, and talk about their stories and stuff like that. Also talk about like some real shit, like stories that's happened through my life. I know him since kindergarten. We have so many
Right.
like stories, like just hanging out, being in school together, just having each other's backs. And I thought it would be really good, but I have to like talk to him and see if
What would your podcast be about? Do you know? You don't have to know. Just wanted to
I
ask since we're
I
talking.
feel like it would just be like about some just real shit. just like positive but real shit in life, and also like just uh just talking.
The life of a 19-year-old, real shit type
Life
of
of,
thing. Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. That's simple as that. That's all you need. And then you go from there, right? No, that's cool. And by the way, you guys we could think about something where you come use the equipment, we just make sure our schedules don't intersect,
Yeah,
even
of
if it's your
course.
own podcast. We could talk about that. I'd be down. We have like 6 mics, even for a big group.
Wow.
Because I do want to occasionally do a big group setting. It's just you can't have the depth of conversation as you can one on one. And this is something I learned from just experimenting with the podcast.
Yeah.
The first episode, 3 people, you don't get deep enough. I want to have each of them back for a one on one because, first of all, I talked a lot. So I learned to listen more, but also through watching myself, which is, by the way, real quick, painful, man. Like looking in the mirror at myself on the podcast going, oh my God, Rick, shut up. Because I'm trying to make a point, but I'm not letting the guests tell their story at that moment.
Yeah.
So that's something I learned. But also that the more people you have, the more superficial the conversation, but the more fun.
Yeah.
So you got to find the fun level with the depth that you want to go. I think initially I like these one-on-ones because I can focus on you and we can go as deep as we want without feeling like, oh, well, now we got to ask Vlad what he thinks.
Yeah.
We can just go deep into anything. I love that, but I also want to have 6 people on the podcast. That almost came out wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like have more of a fun session with some music, and because I like to party. To me, a party is just have fun with a group.
I love to
It doesn't
party.
have to be 80 people. It could be, let's party with 3 people and sit here talking about fun things, have a drink. Let's put some music on, man. Like
Yeah.
music is flowing in my veins. Why are we not listening to music on the podcast? I'm more envisioning like we just flip
chill.
a song on for 5 seconds and then I think you get 9 seconds of free playability.
Yeah, but
And then that's it. It's good. Quick karaoke session. For example, let's see what's on. I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone. Bad, bad. Bad. Bad to the bone. And that's it. And that's all I need. I needed a little jolt.
Yeah.
And then I'm done. And then we're back to the podcast. Welcome to the soothing sounds of Allen and Rick. Right?
On Rick's Misunderstood podcast.
That's right. Misunderstood with Papa Rick.
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf. That's kind of where that came from. I got to have this guy on. We're going to have him on in the next couple of weeks and then, edit it. But his name is, actually, I don't know his real name. His name is Groovy Jew. Shout out to Groovy Jew. And he might bring the party to the party element to this podcast. I have this feeling we're going to get into a conversation about it. He's going to be like, of course, I know exactly how we're going to, pipe music in and have some karaoke feel to this, or maybe not. Maybe that's a separate show. Maybe there's a separate show where we have 6 people on. Like it was fun when we were beatboxing with Paris and London and Free. Like I want to have that show too, and not always be life. What's your perspective? Which I love. I love because it's what helps people the most in their game. That's why it's a must if you want to elevate your game. But it's not all that I talk about either. Like I want to have fun, sing, dance, get up and
do you like talking about like different music and songs?
Not really.
Not really.
If I'm talking, if I'm having a conversation, I want it to be stories. I want to get to know you and psychoanalyze you. I want to get into the details even more. Like I'm not even done for myself. Maybe we don't post all of it, but I still want to know more. I hold back. I don't want people to feel like I'm asking because I care about the story, man. Like I'm interested. It's not that it's gonna keep me up at night. That's why I'm free to talk to anyone. I don't carry their burden with me. I just love understanding people and what makes them tick. and what can help other people get through their stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
helping people. Everyone enjoys helping people. When you help somebody, you just feel good.
You just
It's
feel
we're
like lit up.
programmed. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you feed somebody, you feel good. Even if you didn't want to feed them, but then you're like, okay, I feel pretty good. We're programmed, man. I like to help people feel good by removing their mental prisons, man. Nothing makes me happier than seeing someone go, oh fuck, I don't have to please my friend or my parents or anybody unless you want to. It's your game, baby.
Yeah.
I love that's like my favorite because that is like you're teaching them a sustainable lesson, not hey, here's where you can make $5 on, a trading card and then they make $5. It's a lesson that keeps on it's a gift that keeps on giving. Like it's
Yeah.
one of those principles of life. I love helping them people figure that out because those are the times in my life where I turned it around and was like, "Oh shit, this is a better way to play this game." Like emotional intelligence. That's what it comes down to. That's a big those are big world shifters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But those come from understanding ourselves deeply, man. Not everybody's raised with emotionally intelligent parents or environment. You got to like learn that shit sometimes for yourself.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I know some people like with like not really a lot of like they weren't really raised like with the emotional like oh I can't find the word.
Intelligence.
Yeah, the emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And they just like
It's just
they
effectiveness,
yeah.
man. Emotional intelligence is like forget that word. Like that's been overused. It's just about being effective as a person, effective for your game. Like you want a good relationship with somebody, this is the way to get it. Communicating what you want, listening to what they want, so you can bridge the gaps of I want this, she wants that, or vice versa. It's common sense stuff, man. It's not
Yeah.
like a philosophy. It's like just what's effective, and that changes all the time because emotional intelligence also sometimes changes with society. You have to be aware of what's a social norm, but you don't have to be tied to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my favorite, man. That's how I love helping people. But then again, for the podcast, I want it to be like fun and I want people to like enjoy themselves while they're listening. And it shouldn't be all serious talk either.
Yeah.
But it depends on the interview too, because I don't like forcing it. The reason I want music is that gets me amped and more confident maybe in myself. And now I can be more expressive and make more facial expressions. I don't know.
You get that like little energy boost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think like maybe that's what I'll do is like I got my phone playing my Apple Music. It's random. I don't know. I have a lot of weird, like eclectic stuff, jazz, hip hop,
Yeah.
whatever.
I've heard on your
Yeah.
I see your stories on Instagram. Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
And then we should just crank up the sound once in a while and just go. I didn't know that was going to play. That was kind of fun, man. I kind of like the randomness.
Yeah.
I always just have my stuff on shuffle unless I'm like in the mood for a specific genre, like yoga music because I'm stretching or jazz music in the evening. I discovered Miles Davis recently, just saying. And man, that's evening music right there, man. You got to check that out. I don't know if you've discovered him.
I
I
don't think
recently
so,
did.
but I'll check him
Yeah.
out.
Watch his documentary. Watch the Miles Davis documentary because he's all about flow. And I'm not saying his life was perfect. He had a lot of crazy challenges, but he flowed, man. He made his music on the spot. He would record his music as they were making it. Do you understand? For the first
Yeah.
time, playing it for the first time, coming up with it as they went. Fuck. Talk
Yeah.
about like
That's
being
a
in the moment, dude. Talk about the ultimate being in the moment.
that's
That's
the
why it's so beautiful,
that's
man.
the creative aspect of
Yeah.
it.
26-minute songs, but then it puts you in a mood. I didn't appreciate it before because I thought, it's like random notes and like I like a certain rhythm and like a catchy tune. But at night, man, when it's me and my better half and a glass of wine and we're eating and it's like chill, wow, it puts you in a different place, makes you light on your feet, makes you kind of go, all right, it's all good, baby. Just Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Serious, dude.
Yeah.
I want to get to that more and more as I get older. Like how to just be myself all the time as much as possible. Singing in the car. I used to never sing out loud in the car. If there's cars next to me, I was like, now I go for it. Not all the time, but usually.
Mhm.
I feel like if they don't like it, it's because they're struggling with their own sense of expression.
Yeah.
Most people go, yeah, let's go. Like, because they're bored and they're like, oh, a guy's dancing. Fine. As long as he's not a lunatic, I'm happy for him. Right?
Yeah.
Dude, I
I
think that
love I love
yeah.
singing in a car. Like
I
I
want people to play, baby. I want Allen Mirnyy to play. That's my goal. We're trying to figure out the goal. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
These are my guiding print. Like, if I'm giving you advice, a lot of times it's because I want you to live to your fullest. I want you to play. You know?
yeah.
Sing, dance, be a dancer smurf. Dude, first of all, this isn't cockamamie advice. Well, dancing is not a real What do you mean? It's $1 billion industry, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you can open up a dance studio. Like, and you
Like
could train professional dancers. Like, you've put in the time. You love it enough to put the time and energy in. So, don't you trust that you're getting better and learning? Of course you are. Everyone does.
yeah.
So, why do you think you're going to make less money in the dance field than if you went to some other field? And by the way, your other choices are complementary to your dancing, I meant to say. Because you're like, well, I like videography and telling story, vlogging. I mean, if you're going to be a dancer and an entrepreneur and own a dance studio or train professional dancers, have a team of coaches, probably, you're going to be running a business, my friend. You're going to need marketing. You're going to need videography,
Yeah.
and it's expensive. Ask Josh. He's expensive as hell, man. Luckily, not as much for me, but that's another conversation that hopefully he won't bring up later. The point is, man, it's expensive. So if you, at the beginning, you got to do it all yourself because it's hard to get over that hump in business. That first year, people start their businesses, 90% fail because they don't have maybe the team quite yet. You're going to be a big part of that team. You're going to have to do videography, social media posts to promote your business, sell, dance, come up with a curriculum. That's easy. The dancing is easy. The other stuff you mentioned, even look, your gaming play, why can't you have a game streaming career? It's complementary.
Yeah.
Just do one more than balance your hours, and they're both one of the gaming is passive income. You get a certain number of people following you, you make passive income. You play 3 times a night, at midnight, and that's it. And you do dancing the other time or whatever the balance is for
Yeah.
you. The world is changing, man.
It really
Universities are going to
is.
be like gone, man. It's all going to be online learning and on the job learning. Why do you need to go to a building when you can get it online and then apply it at a workplace or do combined, you know, self or study with a professor on Zoom or in person sometimes, but you don't need a whole big campus anymore. Like things are changing, man. People are making money being entrepreneurs now because you can have all these side hustles, but the side hustle is like a real career.
Yeah.
Gary
Like
Vee is a side hustle. He just puts energy into it where it becomes more than a side hustle.
yeah.
When he was doing wine library, right? That was his side hustle, this social media stuff and marketing and figuring out how to get a following. And then it became full time.
Yeah.
It's all a side hustle.
Everything, like you can turn anything into your profession. Like
Right. Especially today. Like 50
yeah,
years ago would have been more challenging. You
that's
know what I
true.
mean?
Like even online businesses, like not even online businesses like trading, like for example forex trading. I've actually like thought of like getting into like um stocks and forex trading because you can make like a living out of it
Of course.
right now, and people don't even have to go to college. But I feel like college is good in some cases, like
Of course.
for just like learning, and yeah, the degree, it would help you some in some cases, like if you're trying to get a specific type of job, like if you're trying to be a nurse or
Right.
computer engineer,
Right.
stuff like that. but there's so much other things you
Right.
can do without like even going to college.
Even for you, it could help, but you don't really need it. Like, yes, if you need an accreditation, then of course you got to get the accreditation, but you could do it online. College is one tool. That's all.
Yeah.
Forget, people just have to stop looking at college as like the funnel. It's no longer the funnel. You either go to
It's
college or you're a fucking dipshit.
it's not the
That
80s or the
no, man.
2000s. It's
It's
a
like college, is that gonna serve me? Yes, go. If not, then go another route. That's all. Like, but for you, if you're gonna be in dance, maybe you could get a marketing degree, business administration, or just figure out where you're gonna learn those tools better. Is it an online seminar? Is it going to a week-long seminar with Gary fucking V? Or is it paying 20 grand for a semester of college being taught by professors that don't own their own business, that just know the theory of marketing? Which one is going to serve you best?
probably an entrepreneur, not a
That's
professor.
what I'm saying, man. Like a
Yeah.
week with Gary V, or someone like that knows the tools that you're trying to learn is going to serve you best. So that's all I'm saying. Just put college in that bucket to weigh them against each other. It's like when you're buying something for your company, you get 3 bids, right? You don't just go, "Oh, well, no, you just got to go with that company." No, you get 3 bids and you pick the best one. So college isn't the only bid anymore.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, college. Now you're 1 of 10. There's so many other options now, man. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So many
That's
opportunities
what
to have your
that's
own
what I've been
businesses.
trying to tell my parents sometimes. Like sometimes I want to go like with even the entrepreneur route, like doing
You yeah.
forex trading and stuff like that, cuz I just see people succeeding with it, and I just want to get onto the game.
Yeah. So ask yourself, what's going to get me to be the most successful Forex trader? And do that.
Yeah.
Take a course, go to college. I don't think it's college.
No,
I don't
it's
think college is going to, you're going to have how many hours of Forex trading are you going to get in college? Maybe 0. I don't know. Go to a Forex trading academy,
yeah.
or find out who's the most successful Forex trader and read their book or take their online course, see what that does for you, and then decide what you want to do. But before you even do that, figure out which one you love the most, because that's the one you should spend your valuable time doing. That's the one that's going to grow faster for you. So
Right.
if you're going to go for Forex, you're not going to be going for dancing as much. So you just got to make sure you're not going after your second option because you think
Yeah.
it's better money, in my opinion. The money's gonna come later.
Yeah.
Don't be impatient.
The money
Like,
come
wait.
money comes with patience.
Yeah. Unless you already know your passion, like right now, and you're gonna dive 100% into that, that's where the big money's gonna come anyway, in my opinion, man.
There's like a famous saying where the long better things happen the longer you wait. The longer you like invest your time into. So if you're
Yeah,
not
good things come to those who
yeah,
wait. It's not
good
always true though. I don't want, like, meaning, yes,
yeah.
this is appropriate, but I don't want to say like, oh, just wait forever. I don't want to wait an extra day. So I do want to say that I believe do it today. I've learned not to do it tomorrow anymore. Meaning whatever I can do today, do it today. At least do 3 things. Do one thing to get you to propel forward. Don't
Yeah.
wait for that reason, but you need to have a right amount of patience. It's the right amount of patience,
Yeah, that's
you
right.
know? And I'm saying, don't start out of the gates thinking, how am I going to make money in the next 2 years, the most amount of money? Cuz any profession that you want to really master is going to take you 10 years. So you should decide, I'm going to give it my all to this.
Yeah.
So if you're a dancer Smurf, Forex should be your hobby.
Yeah.
And then if that starts making you money, you can go, you know what, let me just do that for like a couple of years, make some money. Then I can open up my studio.
Because I can always like just do it part-time.
Right. But
Like yeah,
prioritize
the
the
stuff
shit you
I
love
love.
first, man. If you can. See, like, if you've got 4 kids and a mortgage, you may not be able to do that right away. But if you're living at home and you've got time and you can make ends meet. Prioritize it that
Yeah.
way. Good shit, man.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good, man. I feel like that was a really good discussion. Like the whole, I don't know. I do want to go back because I think like, well, wait, let's do a time check because
450.
time is
454.
all right. So we got 5 minutes.
So it's
We'll have you back, man. I think that was an amazing story.
I am completely down to be back.
Yeah.
So many more stories, like so much, like I can talk for hours. Like just give me topic, and just if I just have someone to talk to, I can talk for hours, literally.
Me too, man. I love this kind of stuff. This
Yeah.
is, like I said, this is what I think if people take the time to listen to could help them the most. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You should definitely come back. I really appreciate you like sharing your story and being open about it. To me, that's more significant than anything that's happened, is because everyone's got stuff that could be inspirational to someone else, but not everybody is
Willing to open up.
willing and courageous enough to open up, because it takes courage. In my opinion, it's always scary to be vulnerable, right? And it takes courage to like open up, but that's what other people connect with, man. The vulnerability. Embrace the shit out of that, man.
Yeah.
And like, you can do such great things. And I mean, you are the best fucking version of yourself, man.
Yeah.
And you the exact version that's supposed to be here, man, that's supposed to do great things with it. Like, I feel like it opened your mind. Luckily, you could have gone the other way. You could have been bitter. You could have, and that would have been understandable. It's all a choice. But like you said, the game is better this way, dude. Like,
Yeah.
right now in this moment, we can stop and I can list 1,000 fucked up shit that we can focus on that's gonna probably put us in a very negative, non-solution minded frame of mind. Like, this is terrible. Like, what's the point? What's the point of, there's hunger, there's homeless, which I'm not saying to ignore those things. I'm saying for each of those things, there's 1,000 positives, opportunities, fresh air, beautiful day. We're alive. We're not in pain. We have a brain. We can do things. We get to play this game another day. It's not guaranteed
Yeah.
to anybody, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know
So-
exactly what you mean.
I really love this podcast because if Josh and I never dragged this podcast idea over the finish line, we would have never had these conversations, man. Knock him out the box, Rick. Knock him out, Rick. Knock him out the box.